Namaste to all students. Myself JVN Dr. Khushbu Verma from Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science. Today we will discuss about plant tissue culture media session, and in this session we will discuss about micronutrients and hormones which will be required for the preparation of media, and what are the importance of these macro and micronutrients in plant tissue culture media. We will discuss about the same in detail. Media used in plant tissue culture contain nutritional components. Nutritional components are essential for growth and development of cultured tissue. The success of the tissue culture depend on very much about the types of culture media which is used. Each plant tissue culture medium must contain the following essential components to support in vitro plant growth. These are as follows, like macro inorganic nutrients, micro inorganic nutrients, iron as a chelating agent, vitamins, carbon source, organic nitrogen, plant growth regulators, and agar as a gelling substance, or you can say solidifying agent. Here we can go for the flow chart. Here we can see that nutrient can be inorganic nutrient and organic nutrient. Both are the components of the nutrient. In the inorganic nutrient, it is subdivided into macro and micronutrients. If we talk about the organic nutrients, so it will contain vitamins, exitols, amino acids, and carbohydrates. First of all, we will discuss about the macronutrient. So, need of macronutrient is higher. It is present in millimolar quantity, more than 30 ppm per 1 or mg per 1 liter. Macronutrients provide both anions and cation for the plant cells. Macronutrients are nitrogen as NO3 and NH4, phosphorus in the form of PO4, potassium K, sulfur in the form of SO4, magnesium, calcium, and macronutrients have structural and functional role in protein synthesis, cell wall synthesis, enzyme cofactors, and membrane integrity. Now come to the nitrogen. So in inorganic form used as nitrate or ammonia, so nitrogen is major component of all plant tissue culture media, and nitrogen helps to synthesize complex organic molecules. In organic form used as amino acid, different organic acids, caseins and hydrolyzate. If we talk about the potassium, so potassium ion is present in higher concentration in the cytoplasm in the range of 100 to 200 millimolar, and in chloroplast it will be about 20 to 200 millimolar. Potassium ion is essential for maintaining the ion balancing, activation of many enzymes, maintaining osmotic pressure and osmotic regulation of the cell. So simply you can say that potassium is a osmoprotectant. If we talk about the calcium, so calcium functions with different enzymes as cofactor and bound to the cell wall and cell membrane. It gives strength to the cell wall. It helps in the regulation of the cell membrane structure. Deficiency causes disintegration of the membrane and shoot tip necrosis. Important in cell and root multiplication. Supplied as calcium chloride and calcium nitrate. Phosphorus. Phosphorus is very important for energy metabolism, essential element for DNA and RNA. Deficiency may cause delayed growth and dark green color of leaves. Supplied as sodium hydrogen phosphate or potassium hydrogen phosphate. Now come to the next option, which is magnesium. So it is essential for enzymatic reaction, energy metabolism like ATP synthesis. Supplied as magnesium sulfate. If we talk about the sulfur, so sulfur is an important substance and its deficiency inhibits the protein synthesis and decreases the chlorophyll in leaves. So we need sulfur in a proper amount in our nutritional media, and supplied as a magnesium sulfate and potassium sulfate in the tissue culture media. Now come to the second major portion of plant tissue culture media, which is micronutrient. So here are micronutrients like boron, manganese, zinc, molybdenum, copper and cobalt. They are used in less amount and less than 30 ppm, means approximate mg per liter, and concentration is always in micromole. If Now come to the one by one about the micronutrients. So in the zinc play as an active role in protein synthesis and in the synthesis of tryptophan supplied as a zinc sulfate in the media. Now come to the manganese, second micronutrient. It plays an important role in the Hill reaction of the photosynthesis, required in many enzymatic activities and supplied as manganese sulfate. Next one is copper. So copper play important role in photosynthesis, intermediate of electron transport chain between photosystem 1 and 2. Deficiency lead to decrease in photosynthesis supplied as a copper sulfate. Next one is the molybdenum. So it is essential for conversion of nitrate to ammonium and supplied as sodium monochromate. Next one is the boron. It involves in different enzymatic activities and supplied as a boric acid. Next one is the iron. Important enzymatic cofactor supplied in micromole quantity, and it is supplemented with chelators and complex compound due to its solubility problem. Supplied as Na2FeEDTA in the media, and iron deficiency have severe effects on the growth and development of the plant cells. Next major component rather than macro and micronutrient, here is a third one, which is organic nutrients. So it involves vitamins and plant synthesis, which are basically plant synthesis required vitamins. So they are essential for many biochemical reactions. Cultured cells are capable to at produce at some level. They require an exogenous supply of different vitamins for optimum growth. Most unusable vitamins are thiamine, pyridoxine, nicotinic, and vitamin B complex. First one is hexitol. So most tissue culture media have this compound, essential for seed germination, sugar transport, carbohydrate metabolism, membrane structure, and cell wall formation. Mannitol and sorbitols are the hexitols. Next one is the amino acid. So glycine is the most common amino acid used in different culture media. It is not essential, but nitrogen containing amino acid enhance growth and plant regeneration. Now come to the carbohydrate. These all are the organic nutrients. So in the carbohydrates, cell and tissue requires exogenous supply of carbohydrates to replace the carbon which the plant normally fixes from the atmosphere by photosynthesis. And it is supplied by the adding sucrose, and concentration should be 20 to 30 gram per liter. Next one is the gelling agent, or you can say solidifying agent. We will use agar as a solidifying agent in nutrient media. Agar is a natural product of seaweed. Since 1658, agar is obtained from red algae, which is gelidium, and with water it melts at 100-degree temperature and solidifying at 45-degree temperature. Next optional solidifying agent can be agarose. It is highly purified agar prepared from the Gelidium species of seaweed. Agarose melt and gel at temperatures below 30-degree temperature and dissolve through boiling. Agarose is much more expensive in comparison to agar, but generally we use agar in the place of agarose. Next one is the gelrite or phytogel. Gelrite is naturally derived polymer and produced by the microbial termination of a bacteria which is Pseudomonas elodea. It is low-cost gelling agent and 0.1 to 0.2% concentration per liter is required. Now, in the previous slide, we discussed about the artificial tissue culture media and their components. But before the artificial media discovery, scientists generally use the natural media for the cultivation of plants. They used as a endosperm fluid or coconut milk, fruit material, potato extract, extracts of malts, yeast, animal extract, protein hydrolysate, coconut fruit, orange juice, tomato juice, banana pulp, potato, malt, yeast, fish emulsion, casein hydrolysate or peptone. These all natural extract they used as a natural media for the propagation of plants. Now come to the major portion, which is plant growth regulators. So plant growth regulators or plant growth hormones are naturally present in the plant cell. But at the time of tissue culture technique, we have to add plant growth hormones in the media for maintaining or for the growth of plant, explant. A plant hormone can be defined as a small organic molecule that elicits a physiological response at very low concentration. PGS means plant growth hormones plays an important role in phenotypes, act as a messenger between environment and the genome. First plant growth hormone is auxin. This is the family which involves many kind of auxins. So essential for cell division, cell elongation, cell differentiation, organogenesis, embryogenesis, callus formation will be done with the help of auxin. Natural forms of the auxins are IAA, indole, IBA, PAA, and synthetic form of the auxins are NAA2,4-D. Next growth hormone is cytokinin. So cytokinins promote cell division, shoot proliferation, influence of the cell cycle, embryogenesis, and inhibit the root formation. Synthetic form is 2IP, which is most active cytokinin, and natural form are BAP and kinetin. Next, third one is gibberellin. So it promotes the stem elongation, bulb formation, and embryo maturation, but can inhibit callus growth and root induction. GA3 is the most common gibberellin. Next one is fourth is abscisic acid. So it inhibits the shoot growth and germination of embryo. It is thermostable but light sensitive. For the callus growth or for the callus induction, both hormones, auxin and cytokinins, are required. Mostly, or you can say best optimum concentration should be equal of auxin and cytokinin for the callus induction. If we talk about the pH of tissue culture media, so tissue culture media pH is adjusted between 5 to 5.8 before gelling and sterilization with the help of dilute NaOH, QOH and the HCl. pH below 5 will not gel properly. pH about the 6 will be too hard. So this is the sum up of this session, and this session is powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. And if you have any query, then mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.